Bundesliga. Can't remember the last time you took me to the Bundesliga, mate, but you want to talk a little bit about Frankfurt versus Dortmund.
I've done a lot. I've done a lot of European stuff this week. I think the UK stuff is very, very difficult. I think the Premier League is quite difficult. I fancy Leeds on the handicap against Sheffield United, but other than that, I think it's a very, very hard slate this week. And in the lower leagues of England, which has always been a thing that has made me quite a decent amount of money over the last 4 or 5 years, I'm having my worst ever season on it. So my anti-post stuff is the only thing that's going to save me from absolutely doing the lot. I've got some good anti-post positions, but I found it the most impossible. League One and League Two this season in England has been impossible.
I
So
feel like we're going to have a bit of fun on the way home to the. Is it League? Yeah, League Two, mate. Because I've got some money on Bolton to win, to at least a lot of money for me, and you've obviously got Tranmere, mate. So we can.
I've backed Cheltenham as well at 7.5, and I've backed Tranmere at all rates from 100. But Cheltenham played Tranmere as well. Your boys are looking superb, and they're always the best squad in division. And new manager took a bit of time to go in, and they've got a goal scorer in Doyle up front who's too good for that level. And you know they're going to be.
I got them at 40-1, mate, when they were on their slump.
Yeah, well, they're the proven team, and they're coming good, right up the horses at the rails. And the others, everyone's just dropping points, allowing them in, and so they just keep winning and dropping points. But it's going to go down to the wire, so we'll have a go. But you want to be in with a shout, remember shout. But that league has been crazy, it's crazy. But let's go back to the Bundesliga. I mean, I'm going to go. I've had a couple of bets in the Bundesliga. I can't remember the first one I told you. What was the first one I said to you? I can't remember which one
Frankfurt it was. and Dortmund.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Dortmund, to me, have had I think they've been very disappointing in the domestic league this season. You know, there was always Dortmund and Bayern Munich, and that was it. The two sides going for the title. And this year, Dortmund have fallen off the pace, and they've lost some very winnable matches. I mean, they've lost I saw them play Cologne, and they got beat at home, and I think Mainz beaten them as well. But they haven't really struck me with never the Dortmund like they are before. But I think Eintracht Frankfurt, we know what to expect from Eintracht Frankfurt. They score goals. They're quite offensive. They create chances. Their goal XG has been pretty good. They have lost a couple of games in recent weeks, but they've been performing, and I wouldn't be too much worried about the goals were going to come. But again, it's a little bit like the scenario with what we spoke about in the Arsenal and the Liverpool game. The timing of this game is perfect for Frankfurt, absolutely perfect for Frankfurt, with Dortmund playing Manchester City away on Tuesday night. Now that is the biggest game for them for a long time, and it's also a huge match for Haaland, because obviously there's talk of him going to Manchester City. His father played for Manchester City, and I think the Dortmund side at the weekend will be very, very, very below par. I think they'll have a strong bench. I haven't heard any team news. I haven't looked at any team news, but I don't expect them to go absolutely full out with this side. And they're playing, for me, a Frankfurt side who are good. They've only been beaten 3 times in the Bundesliga in 26 matches. Their form has dipped, but they did score 5 in their last game. But their goal XG ratings has always been high. They're a very, very offensive side, and I don't think they're going to get beat by a big scoreline here. And I think that Dortmund, their performances this season have dropped significantly in the Bundesliga, and I feel that Eintracht Frankfurt +1 on the Asian handicap. It's a little bit lower on the prices that we usually talk about here, but I bet them this morning at +162. Sorry, 1.6. I get this so confused. I deal with American odds all the time. So it's 8-13, which is 1.6, 1.62. With a 1-goal start, and I feel that's a decent amount of value, because if Dortmund do win, I feel if they go 1-0 up, they may take the foot off the gas. They may take the substitutions. And you've got to remember as well that Eintracht Frankfurt are higher than them in the league table than this Dortmund side. So I think they've been completely undervalued here. I mean, their goal XG is good. I mean, they're fourth in the table for a reason. They're a good side. They're performing well, and Dortmund, in my opinion, are underperforming. So, I don't think you compare this. Eintracht Frankfurt have lost 3 games in the Bundesliga this season. Dortmund have lost 9, and you can get them plus a goal start with Dortmund ahead of a game against Manchester City. I think that Frankfurt plus a goal is a bit of value at plus 1.62.
Yeah, well, you can get higher than that, mate. You can get 1.67 at Pinnacle 5 times. I'm just on the Trademate Sports Game Center here. You get 1.67 at Matchbook, but I assume once you put your commission into that'll go down to 1.65, something like that. So yeah, you can there's plenty of places here where you can get better odds than that, mate. So
yeah, I mean, this is a game that's to me has been sort of. I mean, Frankfurt have always been one of the most attacking and entertaining sides in the Bundesliga. And this should be a really good game of football. I won't rule anybody off playing the overs of the goals as well. But I do think, from a value perspective, Dortmund are overpriced, are massively overpriced, and Eintracht Frankfurt are definitely underpriced. Just on their performance this season, I mean, Dortmund haven't been anywhere near as good this season in the Bundesliga as they have been in recent years, and they've saved their best for the Champions League. And I think Haaland will be looking at that game against Man City, thinking, "This is my opportunity to showcase and get myself a." We all know how good he is, but what an opportunity to go to Manchester City and really put on a show and try to do so over the 2 legs. But I think their season is all about that one. I think Eintracht Frankfurt will capitalise on it, which has been a very strange team in Germany. Obviously, Bundesliga is very tight. Bayern Munich play Leipzig this week, and Leipzig have got a great chance of beating Bayern Munich with all the players that Bayern Munich are out as well. So, yeah, it's a very strange league, and I think Dortmund's the top echelons of the Bundesliga definitely will be changing this season, I feel.
Yeah, well, I was just looking at the ladder now, and you've got Frankfurt at 4th and Dortmund at 5th. Frankfurt 4 points ahead. So, yeah, another big clash there to decide Champions League places.
Yeah,
Mate,
the reason why just one quick. The only reason I do like that bet is because the other reason as well is if Dortmund do play a strong side and they do go one goal up and there's 10 minutes or so to go, they will take those players off and rest them for Tuesday. And I don't think they will push on. So I love the idea of just getting the 1 goal and then a push if it's the 1 goal. That's one of the reasons why I'm not playing the 1.5 at a lower price. So I'm not taking the half. I want that push on the 1 goal, because I don't think that they will go on and win by 2 goals.
Yep. All right, awesome, mate. Let's move on. And I did get this wrong at the start. You do want to take me to Serie A today, mate. So we are really going around the globe. This is a beautiful, beautiful day. Napoli versus Crotone. Crotone, mate. I don't know how to pronounce it. Crotone. How dare I?
Well, I think this is another Crotone. What we're seeing in the European football this year, there's a lot of teams at the bottom of the table. We're going to come on to another game in France in a minute. A lot of teams at the bottom of the table that are pretty much given up. If you look at teams over the years, people say, "Oh, the teams at the bottom, you want to be really careful because they're fighting for their life." But there's a lot of teams that are so bad. I mean, Schalke in Germany is so bad. Crotone in Italy is so bad. Sheffield United in England are bad. And then we'll come on to the side in France in a bit. But they're so far off the pace and their data is so poor that they're there for the reason, and they're not good enough. And a lot of these teams are already planning for next season. They're resting players. They're getting youngsters to go. And I think that this one here looks a good one for Napoli to win. Napoli are on fire. I mean, Gattuso, the manager, is someone who will never, ever let his side, their performance levels dip. They're looking, I think they've won their last 3. I think they're unbeaten in 6. They've won the last 3 consecutive. And Juventus are really faltering at the top of the table in the Champions League spaces. And Napoli are on a surge, and they have Champions League aspirations big time. And they face a Crotone side here who are appalling. If you look at Napoli at home, they're unbeaten in 9. They've won 8 of those games, and they've scored 23 goals. And this Crotone side have conceded 41 goals in 14 road matches this season, and they haven't won a single match. Last week they played, I can't remember who they played, but they were 2-0 up, and they 2-0 up at half time, and they lost 3-2. They just concede so many games. In the last 10 matches, Crotone have scored at least 2 goals in every match. and they've lost them all. And they just know that they're all about next season. So I love Napoli here, -1.5. I really do think Gattuso will have them absolutely pumped, and I think they'll put at least 2 goals past Crotone, and Crotone will get absolutely smashed again like they do every week. Crotone create chances though. They create, their goal XG is high. They played at Bologna, was they played. They were 2-0 up. They scored 2 goals and lost 3-2. But Napoli are really improving. Last week before the international break, they went to Rome and won 2-0. These are good wins for them, and they're coming good just at the right time. So I think they'll beat a Crotone side who are already looking at relegation looking for ahead of the next year, and I think they'll win by more than 1 goal. And I love them -1.5.
Did you give a price there, mate? Because I'm just getting up on the screen here what
I
we
could
can
have
get.
get it. It's one of those ones you can take -175 if you want a more working man's price, which I wouldn't put anybody off. But I bet them this morning at 13-20, which is, hang on, what's that in decimal? In decimal, that is
1.65.
1.65. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can get 1.71 here. I'm just trying to see Genting bet. I think that's a UK bookmaker, isn't it?
If you want about £4 on, you get on there. Yeah. You're £4. Get your four.
Well,
And then
speaking of £4, you can get on a marathon at 1.69,
oh,
mate.
that's £2 you got. That's £6 in total. What about the other 2.5 grand we want on?
Oh, great. Yeah, well, here you go. Pinnacle 1.68. So
Yeah, that's
once again,
the
mate.
bet.
Once again, mate, you can get better odds than what Nigel has offered there. So this is a great start, mate. Now we're gonna head over to Spain, mate. I mean, this is one hell of a holiday.
Oh, I didn't know we were going to Spain. I just put this down as a little lean. This is like I tell you why this is. I tell you why I like this bet. This is a really, really, really small bet that I've had on this because there's a couple of reasons why I don't want to. Granada, all season, if you read the manager, you read the club owner, the club, everything about Granada, they are so proud and honoured, and they can't believe it that they're in the Europa League for the first time this season. It means everything to them. So all the way through this season, Granada were a side that every time they got to the Europa League, they couldn't believe it. And now they've progressed to the quarterfinals. And ironically, they knocked Napoli out in the last round over 2 leagues, which the club said was the greatest achievement they'd ever done. And they can't believe it. Now they're playing the biggest game in the club's history, Manchester United, on Thursday, which is going to be a very, very massive. I mean, you can't believe this club, how it meant to them. If you read it was, winning this would be like winning the lottery for them. So their record before every single Europa League, and I know that a lot of teams' records before Europa League, but every single match before the Europa League, they were getting beat. I think they've lost every single game bar one before, and they've played a lot during the group. They failed to win every single game bar one. But the only problem with that is Villarreal are also in Europa League actually on Thursday night, but they travel to Zagreb. So they've got a slightly easier task. And Emery's inherited a squad there, which is much bigger. So he can rest players and he can put his. Whereas Granada, if they rest players, the players in their squad aren't up to the levels of what they would have. I fully expect Granada to completely make a lot of changes. I'd say at least 6 or 7 changes. That's what they've done in every game before the Europa League. But if they were playing anybody else in Spain, I would have had a really decent bet with them. But because Villarreal also have the Europa League, it was a bit of a problem for me. But the biggest problem for me is that Villarreal draw so many matches. I mean, they are the draw specialists in Spain. I think I can't remember off the top of my head how many games they've drawn away from home, but I think they've drawn the most games away from home this season in La Liga. And I was just cautious that it may be a game that both sides look at and think, okay, we're in a European quarter final, and let's play the draw. But my theory here was to oppose Granada purely and simply. It was just a hunch. It was just my feel. I've had a very, very small bet on Villarreal, and the reason why I done it was just reading everything that coming out of Granada all season was just emotionally so much about the Europa League. And as soon as they got drew Manchester United, I just penciled in whoever they were going to play the week before and the week after. They were beaten. And unfortunately, they've been all against Villarreal, who are also in the competition. So, if you don't want to play this one, I think they were. I think they were plus. I'm saying plus 215. Is it 250? About 215. I think they
Yeah,
were.
most people have them, or the best price you can get generally is 2.15. So
Yeah,
I think you can get you get that at Bet365 and Betway maybe. Yeah,
yeah.
a
But
couple of
the
plenty.
draw is a really, 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 really big runner though. That was a so it was a lean I had just for them for Granada against going against Granada because of they drawn in Manchester United.
All right, so we're not saying we're that confident on that one, mate.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't say. I mean, I've actually bet them, but I wouldn't say it was like. It was just like a reserve one that I gave you in case we needed an extra one for time or anything like that.
No, it's all good, mate. You give me three, mate. I mean, that's
I
just
know.
brilliant.
I know. I know.
France, then, mate. I mean, I think you just wanted to take me all around the globe. You're quite the romantic, aren't you? I think you wanted to take me to all of the five
Wow.
countries.
Well, I did that for Valentine's Day, didn't I? The last time, and I just wanted to show a bit of love and do it for Easter as well. This is my best bet of the lot of them actually. This one here, I like Marseille -1 at 9 to 10, which is again you have to get you 1.91 ish. They played Dijon, we talk about clubs in European football who have gone to pieces. Well, Dijon have absolutely they've gone to pieces. They've lost their last 11 matches. They haven't won a match in 2021, 14 games. The last 11 losses, 6 have been more than one goal margin. Marseille, despite they've had a real ups and down season. Villas-Boas has left. Despite him leaving, they are showing signs of improvement under Jorge Sampaio. He's tried to change the style of play. He's much more attack-minded. It didn't really work in their last game against Nice. They got beat 3-0. But prior to that, they played 2 games at home, which I bet them on both games. One of them they scored in the 90th minute to get the win. And their performance was good. They looked very good defensively, and they offered a little bit more an attacking force. And I just feel here that to get -1, as long as they win, you're not going to lose against a Dijon side that have absolutely given up. I mean, they are relegated. They're not going to get. They've got nothing to play for. They're so far adrift. It's unbelievable. Their data is absolutely shocking, and I feel that Marseille for me here -1 will win easy. I think their performances this year have been poor. Their last match was poor, but Dijon are just on a different level of poor. And I'm looking back at their goal XG, Dijon. I mean, they haven't shown a goal XG of higher than 1 for. Oh, let's have a look. You're talking a long time. I've gone back 5 matches now, and their goal XG 6 matches now, not higher than 1. 7 matches. I don't think they haven't shown a goal XG higher than 1 in 2021,
There you go.
and I mean that's got to be one of the lowest that you'll see around. And and I do feel that Marseille we may have looked too much into their last performance, which wasn't great, but prior to that, they are showing signs of improvement, I think, and I think they'll come good. And I think it's quite a good thing for them to have an international break and regalvanise the team that's been in a real bad state of affairs. And I mean, I'm going through. Oh, the last time they showed a goal XG bigger than 1 was on December the 23rd, Dijon.
Wow, mate. What's happened since then, mate? A lot of
They
Stella's
haven't won.
things since
They
then,
have,
mate.
Well, I think they've gone on the Serie diet, put on a few stone, and I think they've got stuff. But I mean, they are really bad, and Marseille will turn it around. I think Marseille are a side to actually keep on siding in a few games in the build end towards the end of the season. I think they'll do okay.
And price there, mate. I think we might have lost this one.
1.91, I think.
Yeah, look, I mean, you've got, I think, one bookmaker there. I'll get up on my screen here. I know it's not the most pleasant thing to look at, but this is better than Odds Checker. We'll get a few more bookies here. You can get 1.9. I think I saw at Daffabet. I mean, how low would you go, mate?
Bet365 are 1.9 this morning. What are they now?
1.88.
I'd go down to about 1.85.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think it's a fantastic bet because obviously, if Marseille win, we're not going to lose. And Dijon just don't create any chances, and they concede so many goals. 6 or more of their last 11 losses have been by more than one goal. So by the law of average, they're going to get more. They're going to get beat anyway. And then by the law of averages, it's that price alone that they get beat by 2 or more.
Yep. All right. Awesome, mate. We'll wrap it up there in terms of the 4 games we have gone through. I mean, we can add in the other one with Granada and Villarreal. Mate, best bet of the weekend. I assume you're sticking with the Marseille -1.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And I like that. I haven't really looked at anything else outside the. Like I say, I quite like Leeds in the Premier League -1 against Sheffield United. I think that this week, I think a lot of people are believing that teams at the bottom of tables are still going to put up a fight. They're not. I think I'm opposing Sheffield United quite heavily. I'm opposing Dijon quite heavily. I'm opposing Schalke quite heavily in Germany as well. But yeah, I think that we're going to see some big wins for some of these times, and Crotone in Italy as well against Napoli.
Yeah, all right. You can find Nigel at Sealy_Nigel on Twitter, and obviously go and check out his website too, premiersportsplays.com. Subscribe to some golf stuff, some tennis stuff, and also soccer. Was there any other sports, mate, you're covering at the moment?
Tiddlywinks, bar billiards, darts, penny up the wall. You name it, we got it covered.